It is delicious. Super premium ice cream.
There you go.
Super premium.
If you call anything super premium, it better be good. Welcome to the second episode of The Download. Great to have you with us today. We are extremely excited to have not only Joel, but one of our senior vice presidents, Kelly Higgins, who has been with Tier 4 for 6.5 years, as our honorary guest today. So, Kelly, thank you for joining us.
Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, guys. Great to be here and be with you guys today.
Absolutely. I'm Jake Sherrill, the founder and chairman of Tier 4 Advisors, joined by
Joel Andersen, VP of Marketing, Tier 4 Advisors.
And Kelly, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Kelly Higgins, as Jake said, I've been with Tier 4 Advisors 6+ years and came out of the commercial space in the IT industry, working for most recently Travelport in Atlanta as a executive leading one of their IT teams, global IT teams. Prior to that, with Crawford and Company for a number of years, leading various areas of the IT world. So 30+ years of IT experience, which I've transitioned into Tier 4 and help CIOs and other IT leaders move to new solutions using my years of experience. So it's been a great experience doing so, sitting kind of on the other side of the desk now and helping them understand how they can make their companies better.
One of the reasons why, Kelly, thank you so much, why we have a Net Promoter Score of 97. So just kind of to level set, wanted to talk to our audience about what you're going to hear today and make sure that we're good to go. So a little overview again about Tier 4. Going to talk about the best thing that we saw all week individually, go through some news and what's trending, and get into the 7 ways COVID has changed IT forever for a few minutes. Then we're going to spin the wheel again. All right. Before we start, just kind of a quick reminder, Tier 4 Advisors founded over 8 years ago, and we have folks on our team like Joel and Kelly who are experts in their field. If you're an IT end user and you're looking for a subject matter expert to literally and figuratively sit on your side of the table, Tier 4 Advisors has a team of folks like Kelly who are here at your disposal. We are built to come and help you do projects where you might have a high level of stress, a high level of complexity, perhaps a timeline that is, in some cases, maybe unrealistic, but you have to do the project in that timeline. Again, we are here to help. There's a reason that we continue to say help in our message, and that is why we are here. And these are seasoned folks that can help you expedite different projects that you might have, whether it's data center, cloud, telephony, internet connectivity, managed services, et cetera, et cetera. The average IT professional does 1 or 2 data center projects in an entire career. Hard to be an expert in something that you're doing once or twice in a 30 or 40-year span.
Yep. You
can find us at tier4advisors.com, but we talk about our 5 key categories. Again, data center and everything that is in that category. Telecom, SD-WAN, connectivity, phones, collaboration. Managed services is our 3rd category. Security and compliance, and then emerging tech or emerging strategies. Kelly, probably wish that at a couple prior stops you had Tier 4 Advisors.
It would have been great to help cut through the chatter of vendors constantly knocking on your door in search of a project.
Yeah, absolutely. Whether it is an idea and you're just now brainstorming or you are getting close to signing a contract, Tier 4 Advisors can help, add value, and we are here to help any way we possibly can. So
I've literally been on calls with you and with other team members of Tier 4, Eric and Kelly as well, where the client, the prospect, the CAO, CTO, Director of IT, VP of Infrastructure, whoever it was we were talking with, they've literally said, where were you 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how many times we've heard that before. They're like, where were you at the beginning of my career? Or where were you a year ago, 15 years ago? And we just wish we could get involved sooner.
You know, timing is everything in life.
And we love our partner providers, but helping the decision makers in the client space with their decisions really is what we're all about.
Absolutely. Kelly, welcome. Thanks for joining us. All right, let's jump into best thing I saw all week. Joel, you going to start us out?
I sure can.
Okay.
So the best thing that I saw all week comes from one of my favorite places, Costco. Now, Kirkland brand, right? They have a lot of great things at Costco. Batteries, golf balls. You know, they have
I heard the golf balls are really good.
Anyway, add this item to your list the next time you're at Costco. Kirkland brand premium, super premium. It's the exact name, super premium ice cream. It is delicious, and it's Costco ice cream.
That's wild.
It just sounds crazy.
Kelly, do you go to Costco?
It just sounds crazy,
Yeah.
but it's delicious.
But we'll look out for that next time. I do.
Super premium. It's the super premium. That's the name of it. Super premium vanilla ice cream.
If you call anything super premium, it better be good.
It's super
It better be
premium.
good.
Mine really doesn't need ice cream, Joel, but it sounds tasty.
Anyway, that's it for me.
All right. Kelly, best thing you saw all week, sir.
It may sound trivial, but I turned on the TV over the weekend to watch a little PGA golf, and lo and behold, there was the fairway was lined with guests, with patrons, and it might have been the first time, since the PGA restarted that I actually saw people attending the tournament. So it gives me hope that we're starting to turn the corner and promise on better things to come.
My best thing, International Women's Day. I've always thought, that women in leadership positions, women given an opportunity to do what any other man might do, was actually to me a no-brainer. A natural thing. A lot of people don't know this, but I was the first grandson in my family, and then there were, I think, 11. I should know this number, 11 or 12 girls born right after me. Didn't on one of my sides.
Really?
Yeah, all girls. That was a wild ride there. I was looking for a boy cousin or a brother. But anyways, I'm surrounded by women in my life. Couldn't love or respect them more than I do. All right, moving on. News and what is trending. Joel, I'll let you kind of head this one up.
Sure. So staying on the similar topic of International Women's Day, one of our friends, Laura Miller, she's the new CIO at Macy's.
Formerly the CIO at IHG, by the way, another corporation based here in Atlanta. Fantastic to see. Kelly, over the years, how have you seen some of that change as well?
Yeah, I see certainly more needs to be done, but more appointments at the C level. Our colleague Eric McVeigh, who is also CIO, but his wife Lisa, in fact, has a C level position. And so the appointment of Laura Miller at Macy's, there's more and more women moving up as there should be, and you can look at any Forbes or Wall Street Journal and look for who's who, and I am happy to see more of that happening. It's change, diversity in general. I think we have to address that throughout the leadership at organization.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Kind of an interesting trend right now, this buy now, pay later shopping technology. Is that the future of how we're going to buy things? I think amongst millennials right now.
Buy now, pay later.
Yeah, buy now, pay later.
And we talk about technology. I guess those retailers have to adopt their POS environments, point of sale devices, to offer a pay now or buy later.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see that trend.
What is this for? Like socks or food? Or
yeah, I think just kind of like your everyday retail items. So like department
cars?
Stores. Yeah. And it may be in the future. It might move into kind of larger retail items. But
interesting. Okay.
They have to fulfill their payment promise, right? So they have to figure that out. And do you penalize? Do you make them pay late fees, et cetera? How does that work?
Yeah.
Right. Rent to own, errands comes to mind. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, all kind of similar and overlap in some ways there.
Good deal. Virtual meeting fatigue.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. It's a very real thing.
We got Kelly here from, we're in the same city, greater same city. Obviously on virtual meeting here.
I miss the getting out and socializing.
It is definitely different. It's been a year now, right? So
we're grateful for video meetings, and you think about Zoom, it's become a household name. Just like when you make a copy, you say, I'm going to go Xerox something.
I think it's fair to say that the world was faced with something that a lot of folks could have never really planned for. Maybe there were a few people that were warning of this potential happening one day, but now we are basically a year old in this aspect.
Yeah, and my smartphone, popped up a day. Remember this day a year ago, and I happened to be at an Atlanta United soccer match.
And that was probably sold out with what, 80,000?
Yeah, in that amazing stadium. Yeah,
80,000 of your closest friends.
No one wearing a mask yet, of course.
No, of course. Boy, how life can change in a matter of minutes, let alone a year. Right?
Yep.
All right, let's go down this rapid fire here. Agility is now a necessity. Kelly, I'll go ahead and rapid fire a few of these points. You go ahead and add, color around it if you want. But again, 7 ways COVID has changed IT forever. Agility is now a necessity. Thoughts on that?
Shifting workforce to remote, untangling logistics and the tech issues that everybody had to deal with. So you're going to have to. It's teaching everybody to adapt quickly and consider that a COVID-like situation could occur again. So how do you address that?
Indeed. Number 2, digital transformation leaps forward.
How do we do more with artificial intelligence? Leveraging other technology to remain relevant so that your company doesn't go out of business. Maybe if you employ a call center or a contact center, you can really take advantage of some of the technologies and integrations with social media now. So
yeah, and one thing that I'll add in the digital transformation piece is that a lot of legacy way of thinking was if there was a problem, we'd have people come on site and fix it. Now the as a service model is making more and more sense every single day, and I think that not only the remoting in perspective, and that's been around for years, obviously. But some of the thoughts of an on-prem PBX versus putting that in the cloud. And oh, by the way, the on-prem PBX is 11 years old. Good excuse now to do that. Some people have COVID-related budgets now as well, where they're encouraged by their finance teams to go out and make some of these decisions that are more COVID-friendly. And rather than having things on-site, a data center on-prem, they're looking at other ideas more so now than ever around outsourcing, infrastructure as a service, disaster recovery as a service, unified communications as a service. Kelly brought up contact center as a service. Again, it's interesting to see. Collaboration is now routine. Kelly joining us here on Zoom.
Exactly. Well, I mentioned, Zoom. The Zoom product has become a household name, but there are many other products out there. Slack, Google, Microsoft Teams come to mind, and others that are less well known that Tier 4 happens to represent, like a Ring Central, a Dialpad 8x8. Those are all collaboration solutions that offer great services, integrations, and can support clients of all sizes.
If you were within an hour drive from somebody, you would have rarely. If I'm really speaking for myself, rarely the idea would be to send out a Zoom link. Let's meet halfway and grab coffee at Starbucks.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
Or let's meet up for breakfast. Something. I mean, that aspect, literally 365 days ago, is what I did at least for the prior 20 years of my career. And versus where we are today, I mean, you have offices that are a couple thousand square feet, 5, 8 people in the office. Instead of meeting in a conference room, you're on a Zoom call, Interesting stuff. Collaboration is now routine. Number 4, threat awareness is now enhanced and expanded. I mean, obviously people working from home, links being sent, text messages, instant messenger. I mean, we've got 5 different collaboration tools all installed on our phones, and tablets and laptops. Kelly, I mean, how do you make sense of that?
Well, I think COVID taught us that this is another threat in the same vein as business continuity and DR. How do we prepare and address this situation where our business could be locked down, no one can go on site, et cetera, or get near a particular city if there is an outbreak. So you have to have the tools and the remote capabilities to keep the business running.
Number 5, IT is accepted more so now than ever as a business solutions driver. Pretty self-explanatory there, but any color to add?
I think IT helped reshape companies and how they did business. The curbside pickup and maybe morphing from we're making drinkable alcohol to hand sanitizer for a while. Or companies that made certain products turned to making masks. So all those came out of this, and IT helped shape the way or the capability of doing so.
Which actually dovetails into number 6 very nicely. IT is now viewed as a financial innovator. So to your point, innovating, enabling, and empowering the business to stay relevant, right? Do things that their customers now want rather than going and maybe walking through Costco to get the super premium ice cream. Maybe I holler at them on an app or something like that, and I can pick it up, or it's now being delivered. But either way, I'm still eating and consuming their product.
Sure.
Right.
And how you pay for it, contactless payments.
Don't forget about the buy now, pay later aspect on
BNPL.
Yeah. Right.
What is this bill for? It's for the ice cream I ate 65 days ago. Okay. All right. Good stuff. That's right.
Well, with how much I buy, I might need to.
Oh, wow. All right. Number 7, a new IT workforce is appearing. We talk about managed services. We talk about remote working. Again, adding color there. I mean, a new IT workforce is appearing. What are your thoughts on that piece?
Employees have to become more self-motivating, self-starters. There's not someone, the boss, checking in on them like they would be, walking down the hall. So they have to work with little supervision and stay focused. And that's hard in a remote setting, particularly if you have children and other dynamics in the home.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, the term dynamic workforce is something that I've been using now for a couple of years, but the idea of I need a DBA for 6 hours a day, not 8 or 10 hours a day, when that makes sense to outsource rather than have in-house as a W-2 employee, sick days, retirement, benefits, et cetera. But, over and above that, I mean, you're talking about, again, the dynamics of different needs that enterprises have, whether it's, IT security, finding and retaining the talent, getting them trained up, expecting them to do certain things, whether that makes sense to have in-house or outsource. We tend to see a lot of the secret sauce, a lot of the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, are with the W-2s, where a lot of the kind of ancillary blocking and tackling, if you will, is outsourced. And I think that trend will just absolutely continue. I don't see that slowing down anytime soon.
As a service or fractional, whatever the right term is, gig workforce, to use another industry's term,
right.
Those will become more prevalent for companies to succeed.
Especially around that commoditized work that is needed, right? There's a lot of stuff that's not commoditized, but the stuff that is, you're starting to see, even over the last couple of years, pre-COVID, that was already taking shape. And I think that now this is our normal. I think it'll continue to go down that route. All right. Anything else to add? 7 ways COVID has changed IT forever.
I don't think so.
Should we spin that wheel real quick?
Let's do it.
End the show on a good note.
This is a fun one. A lot of our viewers love this part of the show.
Yeah, so exactly. So we're going to let the wheel decide. Random question. We'll get into the
question number 14 is...
What is your favorite movie?
Ooh.
Kelly, should we start with you?
Sure. I think I tend to watch Forrest Gump over and over and never get tired of it.
Run, Forrest, run.
Should I go next?
Yep.
Okay, so my top 3, I know we said 1, Skyfall, James Bond, Top Gun, Count of Monte Cristo.
Tough to argue with, at least for our audience, anything Star Wars related. Star Trek is kind of cool. For me, as a kid, Top Gun was my jam. Back to the Future, the trilogy.
Always good.
I mean, where we're going, we don't need roads. As a kid, Michael J. Fox on the hoverboard, Back to the Future 2.
Yep.
I thought by now I'd be riding a hoverboard. So I just mentioned, I think, 10 movies.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one movie to watch right this second, the last movie I ever get to watch, Greatest Showman, because I'm singing along. Ooh, gets me right here.
Right? Gets the emotions going.
I love it.
All right, should we plug some more upcoming VIP events?
We've done a lot of these VIP events. These are the anti-lunch and learn type of events. Okay, in a prior life, there are companies out there that'll, rent out a little side room at the Capitol Grill. They'll invite you. They'll feed you a steak sandwich and give you a Shirley Temple. And it's death by PowerPoint for 2.5 hours. That is not what these events are, right? These events are designed to get folks just like Kelly Higgins out of the office, come out and do something that is enjoyable for you. Talk about business, because that's what we as professionals do. There's probably something in there for everyone.
Yep.
These are responsible events, okay? We're not going to be half hugging, shaking hands, stuff like that. We're all adults. We can take care of that aspect.
There was a gentleman who came to one of our the Tank Town event, and he said, I have never, ever been invited to go drive tanks and shoot machine guns, and he's like, I could not miss this one. Those were his exact words, and it was for him, and he had a great time. Anyway, so tier4advisors.com/events, you'll be able to see upcoming VIP events in your area. We have 2 that are happening next week. They're nearly full, but we have 1 or 2 spots left. So if you'd like to join us, TPC Scottsdale, Wednesday, March 17th. Jake will be out there.
I'll be there.
Breaking the course record. And then let's see.
For amount of balls lost.
Exactly. Upcoming VIP events in your market. COVID-friendly, great chance to get out and network with some like-minded peers. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely.
COVID-friendly, great chance to get out and network with some like-minded peers. It's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. Long overdue. Crazy.
Always great, and our clients love them.
Kelly, couldn't thank you enough for being our guest today. Thanks so much for your time today.
Just thank you for allowing me to be here.
You bet. Joel, anything in closing?
No, we nailed it.
All right. Second episode of The Download. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Take care.